It is a very bad method of capturing or hunting, and it is actually an illegal method that is prohibited in terms of the regulation and the legislation. The most important thing about it that it is a non-selective method. You never know what you will catch. You might not catch exactly what you aimed at catching, and will catch the wrong animal, which then might take even days or a number of weeks before it is discovered, and especially if that animal has managed to escape and go into the wild with that snare. So it is a very bad and very cruel method.
Now, are people aware that it's an illegal method?
Yes. For us in our province, we have established over the years, since our existence as Ezemvelo, the unit that specifically deals with awareness campaigns that goes out to communities and to schools to go and send out this word of awareness and conscientize people over the cruelty and the illegal activities, including the snaring itself. And recently, over the recent 5 years, we've introduced the so-called environmental monitors that are picked from the local communities, taken into workshops, and then are sent back to those communities to make sure that they preach the same environmental rules that we are about.
But the use of snares, which is illegal, to capture animals is still continuing. I mean, why do you think people are not getting the message that besides its cruelty, that it's illegal and they can face imprisonment or fines? It continues. The sad part of it then is that when we have to conserve our natural resources, and this is derived from the Constitution of the Republic as well, we are faced with the challenge of where there is unemployment and poverty out there. I don't think people don't exactly know and understand that snaring is illegal and cruel, but we are competing, environmental management and conservation is competing with these other socioeconomic needs that are out there. And it still does continue, especially in protected areas and even outside protected areas. And the sad part of it, which I would like to bring to the attention of the larger communities, that the majority of our biodiversity is actually outside the protected areas. It's there in communal land and private lands. So, and that's where this thing happens in most of the time uncontrollable. And we take time, or even don't even get there and assist in controlling or arresting or patrolling in those areas to remove those snares. Okay, very quickly, Mr. Mthethwa, what would your message be to anybody who's watching this? I know you've got a program in KZN called Ezemvelo, where you are really spreading the word of awareness. What would you say to somebody who's watching now about this terrible use of snares? The clear message will be that as much as we know that there are other things or needs that we have in life as human beings, but we must bear in mind that the natural resources that we have today, they have to exist through generations, and we can only do that by being very conscious now on methods that we apply and use in terms of hunting and that, and try and ensure that we adopt the thinking that says, when we were at school, when we were asked what is conservation or nature conservation, and there was a very nice definition of that says it is a wise use of natural resources. So it means if all of us can adopt that thinking that we could use, but it has to be a wise use of our natural resources so that then they can last through generations and prevent local extinctions or even worldwide extinction. And South Africa, in Africa as a whole, is the continent that has the most important and most loved biodiversity. So we should do that just for, and then thinking about our generations to come.
Thank you very much. That's Vumani Mthethwa from Ezemvelo KwaZulu-Natal Wildlife.